Welcome to another episode of the Talking Blues podcast. Chelsea 2, Watford 1, episode 96 to be specific. Josh, with my co-host Alex, no Peter today for this episode, to recap this match that didn't feel like a 2-1 scoreline going Chelsea's way, I'll tell you that much. Started off with a sluggish, to say the least, performance in the first half. I want to go through the match player ratings because it's horrendous. The amount of low grades out of 100 or ratings that Chelsea players got, even getting low enough, below 5 in a few players. So I would like to get into that. And that never happens, by the way. It's always 6, 7, or 8s, even 9s, not rarely 10s. Obviously, that's you got to score a hat trick or so to get that, but it's usually 6, 7, 8s for Chelsea players. So that's just really bad. Just really bad. And then obviously the unfortunate event that happened within the 12th minute where a fan had a cardiac arrest. So there was a 30-minute break to get everything settled. I think it was a really professional way that they stopped the game and they brought the teams inside during the time period, that had happened. Hopefully that fan's okay. Do we have an update on that fan's condition? I don't exactly know, but I mean, awkward way to bring you in, Alex, but how are you? And yeah, so go into your update then.
I'm doing good. Prayers for the fan. I know the fans in the hospital. I don't know what their condition is. So hopefully they're doing okay. But definitely, upsetting thing, and all the players afterwards posted about it and their kind of post-match tweets and Instagram photos and stories and whatever. So that was, good to see. So hopefully everything goes well with that. But going to the match, like you said, Chelsea got off to a slow start. It was poor from, I'm not going to name the couple names I want to name, if that's a lot of saying name in one sentence, but there's certainly a couple people who need a look of new fresh air of somewhere else, not at Chelsea Football Club.
And yes. One of them honestly being Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And I actually mentioned in my preview that, Loftus-Cheek has been on to good form. Tuchel favors him. I favor him. I think he's pretty good. He goes out here and has an absolute, as a term that a lot of people who listen from the UK use, rubbish. It was a very bad performance from Loftus-Cheek, really. On it, I know I'm gonna say it again, but it was just really bad. And then Saul, man, we get him from loan. We're actually excited because we have a lot of depth at the center midfield position. And then we have this game where we're missing Jorginho off. He's on the bench, doubtful for this match. Conte's out. Kovacic is out. Right? I think I have all those names right. Yeah. We're missing. I think that's everything when it comes to midfield. So we're all right, but we got depth, right? Because we got Saul from Atletico Madrid on the loan move. We got Loftus-Cheek who's playing well. And, I guess Ross Barkley, whatever. And then just absolutely get punched in the face as a Chelsea fan, literally, with how dreadful this midfield was this game. Loftus-Cheek, Saul, both the starters in the midfield, along with our wing backs. But those are the two in the rock-solid midfield. Wasn't rock solid, though. It was the opposite of rock solid, Alex. It was unrock solid. Okay? It was trash. I'm sorry.
Interesting wording right there.
Yeah, it just annoys me. And you know what? I just think Atletico Madrid, they're happy right now. They're smiling. The board of Atletico Madrid's haha, can you believe they actually wanted this guy on loan? Come on, you can't tell me otherwise.
It's just upsetting, to be honest. I was so excited for him. And every time he touched the ball, and I'm not even joking, every time, I don't even think he completed a pass, if I'm being completely honest. I don't remember him completing a pass. I'm sure if you look at the in-depth pass or stats, not pass, if you look at the in-depth stats at his pass accuracy, I'd be shocked if it's above 50% because it was just dreadful. He could his first touch was awful. His situational awareness defensively, he was a liability. it was just awful from Saul, and it just seemed like this guy is not ready to play in the Premier League. It seemed like he was just playing like he was like on a casual game, at the park with his friends or something. That's really what it felt like. And I don't know what it is, because when he first played, we're like, oh, he needs to get up to the pace of the Premier League. He played again. He was like, he was okay. Maybe he's getting a bit more caught up. And now it's like back to ground zero and like below the ground. He's digging, he's digging a tunnel for himself, because I don't understand what's going on. We talked about Kai Havertz and Timo Werner struggling to get in form in the Premier League and getting adjusted to the game here or there, because we're not in the UK, obviously. But talking about someone like that, Saul has really, really struggled, and it's been upsetting to see. Thank God it's only a loan, and let's just say I don't think we'll be executing his buy option at the end of the season. But hey, I still have hope. Obviously, he's a talented player. With a lot of he's had some very good moments for Atletico Madrid. He's versatile, and when he's at his best, he's certainly a top class player. So I'm hoping he can get back to his form. His best form for his sake in particular, and of course for Chelsea's sake. But of course, when we need him, he's really not stepping up, which is really unfortunate. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek, like you said, Josh, was just it was poor. Obviously, the key mistake where he tried to make that turn when you could clearly see that there were players around him, that they were open on the break, that Chelsea were they were susceptible at that point. You can't make decisions like that right before the half as well. So that was just a bit of misjudgment from him. Overall, I thought he played okay. And in that particular moment, and he had a couple other moments as well, similarly, that were just poor. But I thought defensively, he actually put in a solid shift. It's just where we expect him to kind of drive the ball forward, he didn't do as well as we would have expected. And that was kind of my problem with him. But obviously, we have one more shocker, I think, that no one else would be surprised about. But Josh, you got anything else first, or you want me to hit the man with? I'm gonna end it right there before I say anything else.
Yep. I was trying to get you that's how passer rating, but the two sites I looked at, it's actually an 81%, but that would be in the two appearances. So the two appearances for Chelsea in the Premier League. So obviously that if I can't get today alone, unfortunately, and I assume it would be lower, but that's them two averaged out.
Interesting. So I don't know. Maybe it was higher, but on the amount of times he lost possession was just insane. Speaking of people who lose possession and just suck, Marcos Alonso, he doesn't suck, right? Marcos Alonso has been a great player for Chelsea over the years. He was always slow. He's slower than ever. He's really slow. It's just really freaking slow, and it's really an issue. But I'd say
I think you got a new TikTok idea.
What, that he's slow?
Video of him being slow. Yeah. I mean,
videos of him being slow. He's certainly it's I don't get it. Chilwell was so good. Marcos Alonso, he started the season well. It's just defensively, he's such a liability there. And you could see Rudiger just having to make up for him, basically play the role of him and himself. So, it's kind of like a double job. Obviously, Rudiger is very good. So luckily it works out, but it's not been good enough for Marcos Alonso since he's filled in. Maybe it's a bit of rust, whatever, but he's going to really have to step it up. And obviously Saul is not an option to play there either on his current form as well.
Now, Alex, I did mention Ruben Loftus-Cheek a little bit earlier. I don't know if you cleaned up what you have here that you placed in, is that his key mistake led to a goal for Watford. So it wasn't just that it was, he was bad as a midfielder. He basically, it wasn't as bad as he pulled the Jorginho in our game against Manchester United, where literally gifted them the goal. But his mistake did lead to a goal being scored by Watford. So
yeah,
it was up there. It was definitely up there. And I think the goal was even scored by the person who, what I said was doubtful, right? The summer signing that they had, that Watford had.
That guy tore us apart. I forget his name.
I was thinking his name too. Manuel something.
That guy tore us apart. He looks like a real star in the making. Whoever, I've never heard of him before, to be honest.
Emmanuel Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis. Yeah. I haven't really heard of him. I think I've seen him play for Nigeria on the national side. I believe he played for Nigeria. I think I've seen him play in a match for them before, and I saw like he had a nice little burst of pace and change of direction. But yeah, I did not expect that at all. And he really tore us apart. And playing down that right-hand side, he was just, his pace with Marcus Alonso's pace was just not fair. Let's just say that.
And you're right about Nigeria. He does play for their national team, Alex. So I know you were just making sure about that. We don't have Peter on here, but we have a text from Peter that I received that had a little too many expletives to read quote for quote here on the podcast. But besides saying that injuries
suck,
F word teams,
they suck and they impact teams. And it's unfortunate for Chelsea that we have all these injuries. Obviously, Trevor Chalobah also going down in this game with an apparent hamstring injury. We don't really have an update yet, but very upsetting. So hopefully he's back soon because he's another guy who can play in the center of midfield if we really need him. So hopefully Jorginho will be back the weekend for West Ham. Right. But, so Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek obviously will look like they're going to play. But it's...
you were saying Chalobah, right? So, right?
Yeah, Chalobah. He went down with a hamstring injury in the second half, yeah.
So I was just going to say, like, we're already supposed to now give another person away on loan, and we're looking to negotiate with Malang Sarr, who just hasn't seemed to get into the Chelsea squad. I mean, it was a free deal when we got him. I understand, like, he just isn't there. It's funny, when we did get him, you and Peter originally just said what Chelsea was going to do. So I guess props to you guys. I thought he could eventually fit in as a replacement somewhat for Thiago Silva, but you guys were like, oh no, I mean, it was a free deal. We'll probably get him, put him on loan here, and then eventually sell him to gain money back, free chat, whatever. It doesn't look like we're doing that. It looks like we're putting him on loan again. Who's the team that's really interested in him right now, Alex? Do you have the latest on that?
I do not have the latest on that, but I know there was a whole bunch. There was a whole bunch of teams in France that were definitely interested in him for sure. A couple in Portugal as well. I know I read that on Twitter.
Here we go.
But yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Milan. He could leave Chelsea for £10 million.
So that would be a permanent deal if they were to sell him like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you were saying, though. And Sarr desperate for January loan. Rudiger summer departure almost certain. There you go. That's
I don't think so.
Also, he's been linked with Inter Milan a little bit, but we'll have to see. It seems like he's set for an Italy move. I don't know.
We'll get to the Rudiger, Aspi, Christiansen contract situation. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's finish up the game first before we get to all that. But So obviously Chelsea second half, we bring on Thiago Silva, really helps. I thought we were solid when Thiago Silva came on, and he really just kind of gave that experience, that presence to kind of calm the game down. And
nice voice crack.
Nice voice. and it was,
I know we're already talking about the second half, Alex, but we also should touch on that Mason Mount saved our lives with that goal in the first half in the 29th minute.
I was about to touch on that. Yeah, I was about to go second half, and then I saw Mason Mount. I was like looking at the goals. I was like, oh yeah, Mason Mount's goal was in the first half. Yes, Mason Mount with the goal in the first half. Big goal that really saved our butts, like you said in the beginning. And that was the two similar-ish kind of goals, if you think about it, in the way where they were shot from. So it was Mount, I believe, in the 27th minute, and then Ziyech in the 73rd minute. I'm going that completely off my head, by the way. So let's see if I'm right there.
Ready?
Yeah.
72nd, very close.
I was close. Okay. So they're both of those guys getting goals. Ziyech, when he came on, was very good as well. And obviously he was down multiple times as well. He had a couple head collisions, etc., a little like ankle situation as well. But that was it for the Chelsea goals. And Mason Mount getting back on the score sheet as well was nice to see. And he played very well. Thought he was excellent today. One of the lone bright spots for Chelsea. Josh, do you have anything else on the match before we move on?
Player match ratings.
Yes, player match ratings. Forgot about that.
Do you want to guess or you want to just go through it? Like, do you want me to say the player and you guess it?
Give me one player and tell me what their rating was, so I understand like what their like system is.
So I'll go through the players who actually did well. So Edouard Mendy got an 8 out of 10.
Okay, can I guess from now on then? Is Edouard Mendy?
That's it.
Yeah, I can now kind of get it. What was Ruben not Ruben Loftus-Cheek? What was Aspi?
Aspi, 6 out of 10.
Okay, I got a decent sense now. So continue.
Right, ready? So let's go through the rest of the squad. Alex is going to give his prediction to the player rating that the Chelsea player got. We should do this more often. Honestly.
It'll be like my player rating, if that makes any sense. Like what I would have given.
Well, that's
or what I think is giving.
Well, you're guessing. Yeah,
I'm guessing what should be given. Yes,
what was given.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Not what I think. Yes.
You know, we should bring back a lot of stuff, but there's also stuff we should add, and this might be one of the things. What was the other thing that we were talking about the other day? It was like, you know what? We haven't done this in a while.
Oh, our like players of the match and stuff like that. We were going to talk about that. So we might be bringing that back as well. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we might. The only thing was like, it was obvious because they were given like the 9 out of 10 on player match ratings.
Yeah.
But we should do that. Anyway, there was no player of the match here. How about that? So Trevor Chalobah.
7 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Oof, that's intense.
Harsh.
A little bit harsh, yeah.
Rudiger.
7 out of 10.
6 out of 10 as well.
Wow. What did he do? I guess the goal, right? Yeah. Okay. Continue.
So Chalobah Christiansen.
8 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Seriously?
You're not doing well here. Here, and I have descriptions too, so I can sue for Christiansen. Having been relegated to the naughty step of the Chelsea bench for off-field contractual wrangling, the Dane was restored to on-field duties by kind of the indomitable. Did I say that right? Yes. Indomitable. Thiago Silva needing a rest. Caught flat-footed a few times, but for the most part, held it down well, particularly impressive in the air.
So how's that a 6 out of 10?
Listen, it's not my ranking.
Okay, fine. Let's go. I'm going to have to adjust my guesses now. Continue.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
4 out of 10.
Correct.
Got it. Let's go.
I think he was the lowest out of it. Nope. I lied. Saul.
3 out of 10.
Correct. Let's read Saul.
You gave me a gimme there. You gave me a gimme.
Yeah. Has not looked at the races thus far in his fledgling. Yeah, I'm so bad at reading. Fledgling Chelsea career, albeit with limited chances, and tonight was no different. Completely waylaid by the vim and vigor. I actually like this writing, though, of the underdogs with an early booking symbolic of the Spaniard being unable to keep up with the pace of the game. Mercifully, hooked at halftime. Not quite a disaster of Timo Bakayoko proportions.
Oh, my God.
Although it could have been had Thomas Tuchel let it continue. But the auditions, like this, a stay in West London is looking more and more like a pipe dream. I actually like this writing. This is absolute Chelsea. I should plug them anyway because we are taking, this is their match ratings. But I actually do like this, so go check it out. The match ratings from Absolute Chelsea Fan Nation. Marcus Alonso.
5 out of 10.
Correct. Let me know if you want a description or keep going.
No, keep going. We don't have all day for the descriptions.
I mean, we don't, but we have time. This is a match reaction. I mean, I just want to know if they talk about slowness.
Let's see. If they talk about slowness, then you can read it. But if not, then no.
Well, I can't. His rustiness, or alternatively, his waning ability is looking like an alarming liability in his team's title challenge already. Some credit must be, however, reserved for his role in the opener with a well-timed jog in behind and a near touch to flummox the Watford back line. Continue.
Bro, these people are harsh. I feel bad. Oh my God, the jog.
You thought you were harsh.
I was harsh. Damn. Hopefully
Christian
Marcus
Pulisic
is not on his Twitter online tonight. Jesus.
Hopefully he's not listening to Talking Blues podcast.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Christian Pulisic.
5 out of 10.
Correct.
Who's next?
Mason Mount. I think we did that.
8 out of 10.
Correct. And Kai Havertz.
7 out of 10.
8 out of 10. We have bench players as well here. Thiago Silva.
He should be 9 out of 10, but I doubt it.
It's a 6 out of 10.
How? What's the description here?
Yeah, it's only one sentence, actually. Brought some much-needed calm and steel to a Blues back line. And really, the Blues half that were being asked some serious questions by the hosts.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay.
All right. Who else?
Hakeem Ziyech.
7 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
How? Okay. Like, oh God, these ratings are starting to annoy me. Who's the last one here?
Lukaku.
We got 5 out of 10. I don't know. He didn't do anything.
6 out of 10.
So 6 out of 10 is like their bang average is what it sounds like. Even though to me, 7 out of 10 is average, but I don't know.
Let's see. Well, here's like another. I just want to see. Well, the Sun actually gave Saul a 2.
Well, that's fair. He should have like a -2, but yeah.
They said, unfortunately, I must refrain from some bad words I used to describe his performance. He was utterly shocking, hauled off at halftime, and didn't even look League 2 quality, let alone Premier League. Awful. Wow, these writers in the UK are
they
harsh.
Don't mess around. Wow. we sometimes on our
they have 7 for Thiago Silva. Sorry.
I said sometimes on the Giant Take, our New York Giants podcast for American football, we talk about how sometimes these reporters in the US are harsh, blah 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 blah. They're no match for these British reporters. I got to be honest.
Evening Standard gave Saul a 4. Okay, we might have to be adding these, by the way, too, because I like going through this.
Yeah, this
is. They gave Silva a 7.5. So yeah, it looked like Sports Illustrated's like whatever it was called. Fan Nation.
Sorry, yeah.
Nah, yeah. Fan Nation. Little harsh, but whatever. I'm just gonna write this down, Alex. Let's go. All right, let's go to the contract situations with some Chelsea players. Continue.
All right, so obviously we have 3 players here with expiring contracts at the end of this year. We got Tony Rudiger, Aspi, and Christiansen. Aspi, I think, will probably sign a deal, either that or he'll retire. I think if we end up winning the Premier League, Aspi will retire, but I hope he does then because he's definitely getting up there a bit. Rudiger is an interesting one. Obviously, in January, he can start talking to teams because that is his 6 months till his contract expires to join them in the summer, which means if we do not sign him or, get him signed on a new contract before then, he could go wherever he wants. And that's a bit of a problem. The rumor is that he wants about 8.5. He wants 12 million pounds a year. And Chelsea are only willing currently to pay him 8.5. I'd say go up to 10, see if they bite. If they don't, make it 11. They'd have to bite at that point. If not 12, you just got to pay. I think you just got to pay it. I mean, I don't know what else you do. You can't lose him. I'd want to keep Rudiger and Christiansen because those 2 guys after Thiago Silva and Aspi are gone in the next 2 years. Then you got 2 defenders and you only have 1 more to replace, whether that is, Chalobah who gets to play there or whatever. But yeah, I definitely think Rudiger and Christiansen are big priorities to get re-signed because let's say we end up getting Koundé next summer or maybe in January, we can have a Rudiger, Christiansen, Koundé type of thing, which I would think would be a good situation. So Rudiger has to be re-signed. I don't know what Chelsea are doing. If he leaves, I'm going to be devastated. He's probably one of my favorite players on the team. I mean, it's just like, it's fun, right? His shithousery is just, it's just top notch. So I really hope that, something works out. And I think something will work out. I think Chelsea will eventually pay him, but yeah, really, gotta hope. We only have a month left now.
I just want to say I will not at all say anything about about Jules Koundé until that man has his feet on the pitch at Stamford Bridge. I made that mistake once. I got excited in a reaction episode that we got Koundé and we didn't. And that was one of the most embarrassing, annoying episodes I've ever recorded of this podcast.
You and Peter both were like, we got Koundé.
But he said it though. But he said he's like, it's not confirmed, but if it is, I'm really excited. I was the one person that was like, that was unfortunate.
Embarrassing.
We're gonna keep going after that. So
you didn't go by the here we go, and that was really the issue. You got to go by the here we go.
That is true. It was a report from another source.
He's disappearing from us. He's disappearing from. He does. He's so in shame right now. He has to turn off his camera.
All right. Well, we have to explain that to the people listening because yeah. So I just turned off my camera by mistake for everyone listening. But anyway, let's go to the Ballon d'Or news. But if you aren't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we did have a preview and we will have previews. We are not doing previews anymore, really, on this. We're doing more recaps on the podcast because we want to expand our YouTube content. So the previews and score predictions are going to be on our YouTube channel. So please go subscribe to the Talking Blues podcast on YouTube. Anyway, the top 10 Ballon d'Or breakdown goes like this. Coming in first, Lionel Messi. Second, Robert Lewandowski. I'm not.
Lewandowski.
I didn't know if it was going to be me or not. Third, Jorginho. Four, Karim Benzema. Karim Benzema. Thank you. Isn't it Karim though? Some people say that.
Karim.
Whatever. 5, N'Golo Kante. 6, Cristiano Ronaldo. 7, Mohamed Salah. 8, Kevin De Bruyne. Or Kevin De Bruyne. I don't know.
De Bruyne. I don't know. I feel like people just make
9,
up his name.
9, Kylian Mbappe. And 10, is it Gigi? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Gigi Donnarumma.
Exactly. Gigi.
Yeah. Gigi. Coincidentally, the same first name as Gigi Buffon.
What do you think? What would happen? That was Thomas Muller, right? Robert Lewandowski. What do you think Thomas Muller would be like as a guest on the Talking Blues podcast here, Alex?
I think Thomas Muller would be an amazing guest. So if he would like to come on, and he was venting about how Messi won the Ballon d'Or over his friend Lewandowski. So it would definitely be something that maybe he wants to come on here, talk about some of the issues that he has with this whole system and the voting system. And it would really be fun to talk with him. So if he likes to come on, we welcome him. Just shoot us a DM on
Twitter
at Talking Blues Pod. Easy plug.
There you go. So 5 Chelsea players were included in this Ballon d'Or voting under the top 30. And that included at 29, Azpilicueta. Number 19, Mason Mount's favorite number, comes in at 19, Mason Mount. 12, Romelu Lukaku. 5, N'Golo Kante. Obviously, Lukaku was more for his time at I don't want to get this wrong this time. I was going to say Atletico Madrid again. No,
Inter Milan.
3rd, Jorginho. And Mendy actually came 2nd in the Ocean Award. So congratulations to Edouard Mendy. But he should have won first. He was robbed.
Yeah, he was robbed.
And
Jorginho was robbed as well. He should have come 2nd.
Now, can we be serious about this? I know we were just talking about Thomas Muller and how he was upset. I think Lewandowski should have won the Ballon d'Or for 2021. That is my thoughts. Alex, what are yours? Because I know it's a Chelsea podcast, but this is a topic of football. I mean, when it comes to Ballon d'Or, everyone talks about it. So it's not like we're going off topic here. I think Robert Lewandowski should have won for all his goals that he had.
Yeah, I agree. If I were to have redone the top 5, I would have gone number 1. I would have gone Lewandowski. Number 2, I would have gone probably still Messi. 3, I would have gone Jorginho. I think he's in the right place. 4, I think I'd go Mo Salah. I think he's been sensational this season. I think 7 is really unfair for him. And 5, I would go probably Conte still. Yeah.
Conte is the best midfielder. If not, I honestly think Conte is a better midfielder. Like in all of football, I would say Conte is the best midfielder, even though in this Ballon d'Or ranking, Jorginho is higher.
Yeah. Well, they're also different types of players, right? So it's hard to compare, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're just so different. I would, it's like pitting my 2 babies next to each other. Okay. I can't do that. But yeah, that's how my list would have gone. Oh wait, did I just kick Karim Benzema out of my list? So I would have kicked Conte out of the list then. Conte would have been 6. I would have had Benzema at 5, Conte at 6. I'm sorry, Karim, if you're listening. Josh calling you Benzema or whatever you called you, I don't know. And then I'm just disrespecting you. I'm sorry, okay? If Karim listens, I'm truly sorry. But I think that's it for our Ballon d'Or. And obviously Chelsea winning the Club of the Year, which is something that is very big honor, even though I've never heard of it until we won it, if I'm being completely honest. So
that's good.
Yeah, but good that
and
we won that. Deservedly.
We also got the draw for the
Club World Cup.
World Cup. Thank you. The Club World Cup. That was a few days ago. I don't know the names of the teams offhand, but I believe it's 2 Saudi Arabian teams. And
I believe clubs. if I look here, Club World Cup, it's like we're gonna play we're gonna play Al Jazeera, not the television network. No one's gonna get that joke anyway. Continue.
After this match, another Chelsea win, even though it was a sloppy one. They sit still in first place with 33 points, behind the Man City with 32.
Nice. Top of the table. Some of these wins, it's not the prettiest today, but you got to get the 3 points. The 3 points are what matters. We got the 3. We got all 3, like I'm showing in the camera right now for everyone on video. Got the 3 points. That's what matters.
That is what matters. And I agree, Alex. I think Chelsea just has to clean it up. And like Peter said, injuries are going to scar a team. Even though he wasn't here, and
you know what else is going to scar this podcast? His lack of commitment. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I thought that joke was much funnier before it came out of my mouth.
33, 32, 31 it goes between Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. All of those clubs winning today. Some better than others, though. Liverpool, an absolute domination over
Everton. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a big mercy. Not going to say it.
Okay, sounds good. And then Ruben Dias and
wannabe Tony Rudiger, you mean?
Yeah.
Until he leaves Chelsea, and then he's not. But
and Bernardo Silva scored for Man City.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Talking Blues podcast. We appreciate you listening. Our next episode will be a recap if you're listening, against West Ham United. Most likely on Saturdays. The game is early morning. The Alex does 7 a.m. wake ups. I'm sure you're hyped for that.
Please don't tell me it's a 7 a.m. wake up. I haven't looked because I was scared.
7:30 a.m. wake up.
No.
But hope you enjoy not sleeping in on your Saturday, because I definitely won't. So that episode will either be on Saturday or Sunday. But please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we will have our lineup predictions before that match, Friday. If the game's Saturday, 7:30 a.m., we're not. Yeah. So we want to give you time to watch and check it out. Lineup and score prediction will be out Friday.
Tomorrow when you're listening to this, probably. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah. So it'll be out Friday whenever you are listening to this. Friday, December 3rd.
Yes.
And thank you for listening to this podcast. We would like you to follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Talking Blues Pod. Follow me on Twitter at JoshSolo29. Alex on Twitter at Anorian23. Again, subscribe everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and 5 stars if you can on Apple Podcasts. That's going to be it for us. For Alex, I'm Josh, and we will see you next time on another episode of Talking Blues. Thank you so much for listening.